know what sucks? Losing. You queue up after work or school, maybe just trying to chill, and by the third game, your teammate's whiffing, your own goaling, and the scoreboard says you're getting destroyed. It feels awful. But here's the thing. Losing isn't the problem. The problem is how people react to it. Everyone wants to improve in Rocket League, but the second they start losing, they shut down. They tilt, they blame, they queue again instantly. But losing is literally the best way to get better, if you actually let it be. And I'll explain why, because I swear 90% of players get this backwards. When you win a game, you don't think about why you won. You just move on. You don't notice that your rotations were sloppy or that your 50-50s were lucky. You're too busy feeling good about the result. Winning makes you comfortable, and comfort kills improvement. Because when you're winning, your mistakes get hidden behind the score. You could have played the exact same way and still lost. But since the game went in your favor, you don't even think about it. The win tricks you into thinking everything you did was right, when really, it just worked out this one time. You don't really learn from the easy wins. You just move on. The games that actually stick with you are the ones where you lose. The ones where you sit there after the match, staring at the replay saying, that was the dumbest game ever. And the reason those losses hit harder is simple psychology. We remember bad moments way more clearly than good ones. That frustration stays in your head, and that's what makes you reflect, think, and eventually fix what caused it. That's when real improvement starts. Not when things go right, but when they go wrong, and you finally notice, that's when you actually start improving, because you're forced to. Most of the time when you lose, it's not because your teammate threw, or because the servers are bad, or because matchmaking sucks. Yeah, sometimes you do get unlucky lobbies. It happens. But if we're being honest, most of the time the other team was just better than you. And that's not a bad thing. That's how you learn what's missing in your own game. And that's good. You want to play against people better than you, because that's when you start noticing gaps in your gameplay you didn't even know existed. When you're constantly beating weaker players, you stop improving. You never get punished for bad habits, like chasing, double committing, overextending, because the other team can't capitalize on it. But when you face players who can, it's a wake-up call. You realize they're not just faster, they're way more efficient. They rotate smarter, challenge quicker, and never panic with the ball, and that's when the learning actually starts. It's better to get destroyed by someone better than you than to crush a team that's worse. Because after that loss, your brain starts asking questions like, what did they do differently? How did they beat me so easily? And the answers to those questions are literally the roadmap to improving. The reason people don't improve from losing is ego. Everyone's got one. You lose a few games and suddenly it's my teammates are awful or I just got unlucky. And yeah, sometimes you really do get unlucky. That's just the game. But if you always think it's someone else's fault, you'll never change. Ego makes people allergic to accountability. They'll play for 2 years, stay in the same rank, and still say, I'm just getting bad lobbies. No, you're getting normal lobbies. You just haven't learned from your losses. When you drop your ego, losing becomes data. Not proof that you're bad, just proof that there's a gap between you and someone better. And once you see it like that, it's kind of freeing. Because now losing isn't personal, it's progress. Every loss gives you info. It tells you what part of your game breaks under pressure. Do you panic with the ball? Do you challenge too early? Do you get lost in rotation after one bad touch? Those are things you can't see in wins because they don't cost you anything there. And yeah, you can learn from wins, but losses make it obvious. When you lose, you can look back and say, that one push was too aggressive. I didn't communicate the rotation. I was going for mechanics instead of the safe play. Even your mental game shows in losses. You'll find out if you tilt easily, if you give up early, or if you stop trusting your teammates, and that's what separates average players from improving ones, the ability to reflect. Anyone can requeue, but only the smart ones actually think about why they lost before doing it. Let's be real. No YouTube tutorial can teach you faster than just playing people who are better. If you're constantly losing to higher ranked players, you're basically getting free coaching. You start copying things without realizing it. You mimic how they position, how they challenge, how patient they are with the ball. You'll lose 10 games in a row and then suddenly hit a clean read that you've never pulled off before. That's because your brain learns through exposure, not comfort. The best players in Rocket League didn't just win their way up. They lost thousands of games. They just didn't waste those losses by complaining. They studied them. So the next time you get matched against players who seem cracked, don't get mad. Take notes, because you're literally seeing the next version of yourself. Of course, losing still sucks. Nobody likes staring at a defeat screen 5 times in a row. But the difference is what you do with it. You can either get frustrated and blame the game, or you can use that energy to figure out what's missing. You'll notice something. The players who improve fast don't have fewer losses. They just handle them differently. They don't take it personally, they laugh it off, analyze it, and move on. And here's something I learned. You can't appreciate winning until you've lost enough times to earn it. Winning only feels good because you know what losing feels like. So if you're losing right now, you're doing fine. It means you're playing people who push you. It means you're right where you need to be. If you want to make losing actually useful, here's how. Watch 1 replay per session. Don't overthink it. Just find one mistake that cost you momentum. Don't focus on what your teammate did wrong. They're gone. You can't fix them. Focus on your half of the field. Notice patterns. Are you losing challenges? Getting caught too far up? Missing clears? If it keeps happening, That's your weak spot. Play better players intentionally, hop into ranked private matches, or customs with higher ranks. Losing to them will teach you more than beating 5 weaker teams ever could. Stop rage queuing. Give yourself space between losses. If you don't, you're not learning. You're reacting. Every Rocket League player, even pros, loses constantly. You just don't see those games. You see the 10-second clips where everything works perfectly. But behind every highlight is 100 bad touches, missed rotations, and frustrating losses. The difference is, they didn't let those losses define them. They let them refine them. That's the difference between people who improve and people who quit. So yeah, losing sucks, but it's supposed to. Because if it didn't hurt, it wouldn't mean anything. Next time you lose, instead of queuing again, ask yourself one question. What did that game show me that I didn't know before? Because that's what improvement actually is. Not wins, not MMR, not highlights. Just lessons stacked on top of every loss until you eventually win for the right reasons. And when that happens, trust me, those wins feel completely different.